just for now. Well, there's a trouble around.
Uncle Tupelo were an alternative country band from Illinois. They were born in 1987 out of the ashes of a band called the Plebs, or the Plebes, presumably the Plebs. They were originally called Primitives before they changed their name because they came across a British band with the same name. And in my opinion, they got the better end of the deal. They shimmied through several styles before settling on this alt country style that they're known for. And then they broke up in 1994, so that's just 7 years after 4 albums. 2 of them went on to form Sun Volt, and the remaining members formed Wilco. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the first album by Uncle Tupelo, and it's my first encounter with them listening to any of their albums. This album is credited as being foundational for the concept of alt country, and potentially reckons stuff that I've read that they might have been the first, certainly the first high-profile alt country band rather than a solo artist. And somehow this manages to bypass my general aversion to country almost completely. In fact, completely. I don't object to any of this on the grounds of any of the objections that I tend to have to mainstream country. So it's not got a nasal voice. It's not got lots of saccharine emotions. They're the 2 big things that put me off. In fact, the voice is quite gravelly and sounds, almost kind of like post-punk kind of stuff. I'd describe it musically as being rock. Mostly, it's got roots influences here, so got bits of what sounds like country and folk even, and kind of old-timey Americana stuff, touches of blues here and there, potentially even. It's very much guitar-based, and occasionally feels punky, particularly the track Before I Break, reminded me of that. In terms of the guitar use, it's not... Another thing that sometimes annoys me is indie guitar, where there's this kind of big washy curtain of guitar in the background, and it's not like that either. It's the guitar's up front and it's rocky and it's done well. And one particular thing that they do musically is they make use of stops where they completely, come to a silent halt. Apparently, this is taking after a band called the Minutemen doing this. It's certainly I've come across punk that does this kind of stuff, or punk-related things. I'm going to pick out a few tracks in particular. So No Depression, which is the title track, is a bit like an old-timey song, and it's sung a little bit like as if it was a Pogues track, and yeah, in a good way. Whiskey Bottle, I really like it. It feels more country at the start. It's kind of got gentle stuff with the slide guitar, and then gets into really quite heavy bits in the middle. But lyrically, it's really nicely put together. And then the last track on the album, Screen Door, is it's a nice closer. I think it's different guys singing from most of the tracks. There are 2 guys credited as vocals, and it's an interesting track about insular attitudes. And again, nicely put together and a nice sound. So overall, I felt like there was good energy, there was a lot to like, there were good songs, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to come across them again, but certainly I know some of them, there's going to be some Wilco and some Sun Volt coming up, I think, in this list, so I'm going to keep this in mind when I get to them, I hope. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think, and that's it from me for now.
Oh, fear the hearts of men are failing, for these are latter days we know. The Great Depression now is spreading, God's word declared it would be so. I'm going where there's no depression.